Good evening, everyone. I will open up tonight's Conservation Commission meeting. I have a quorum of voting commissioners present. We are meeting for the Thursday, March 20th, 2025 hearings. This is in the quiet meeting room, Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North. Our meeting tonight is broadcast live on local cable channels 8 and 1072, also streamed live on the Town of Mashpee website, and we are also into a hybrid remote Zoom meeting as well. Before we do begin, if you would like to join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll begin with a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. Our first agenda item is public comment, and this would be for any issues that are not related to agenda items for tonight's meeting. Is there anyone that would like to address the commission? Guess not. Nobody online that wants to speak?
No one online.
Okay. Then we'll move along. I think I will go to the hearings that we have scheduled first. And our first one will be 45 Manitoba Road, Martin T. Vakovec and Deborah L. Vahovec, proposed removal of trees. This is represented by the owner, and it is a RDA.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to
Yes.
recuse myself because Tom and Deborah are my clients.
Okay, Steve? Thank you. All right. Sir, are you the owner?
I am.
Would you like to come up and you could sit at that table there with the microphone. Introduce yourself so we have a name for the record, and describe as best you can your intent in asking for the RDA. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
Floor is yours.
Everyone. We just moved to Mashpee February 19th. We bought my son's home, and so we're looking to make this our lifelong home. And there were some safety issues that concern us with some of the trees that are surrounding the property. One in particular has, in our opinion, caused a severe crack in the foundation because of the extensive root system that is expanding into the house area. I think you have a diagram of the tree on the left side of the property that has cracked the foundation. I have pictures of the cracked foundation, and our hopes would be able to remove that tree to prevent any further cracking, but also the tree is hitting the side of the house, hitting the windows. So we're hoping that that removal of that tree would be accepted by the board.
What's going on? I'd say.
Do I continue with the
Yes,
other?
Yeah, everything that you would like to present, and then the commissioners will ask questions or
Right.
further information.
If the picture that you have in front of you that is dotted, which signifies the left-hand tree that I'm referring to with the cracked foundation, there's a tree in the back left corner that, if was removed, we hope that that wouldn't create any root issues going into the foundation. Drew and I looked at that today, and I'm not sure if that would ever happen, but our intent would be to clear that area in the back corner to create a patio sitting area for my family and our enjoyment. There is a significant large tree moving I don't know if you're following the dots, but in the back right corner is a huge pine tree that starts at the base, and then it opens up into two large pine trees. In the last storm, some of the branches cracked off and broke, but the tree is leaning towards, in our opinion, in a negative way, towards the house. So we would like the consideration from a safety insurance standpoint to remove that tree in the event a catastrophic event happened and the tree fell, blew, wind, whatever, knocks it over. But it looks as though the tree, in our opinion, is subject to a potential catastrophe for us, especially with it leaning and being so top-heavy. There's some additional trees on the side of the property, which I'm not sure if they actually fall into the wetland area, and I don't even know if that has bearing, but in the back of the property is not in the wetlands. The house is, from what I understand, in the wetland area, and I'm not sure if that has any bearing on your decision one way or the other. We had hoped that we could clear some of the additional trees out on the side of the right hand of the property to open it up, give us some more flexibility in doing some landscaping, which we do on a professional level, to enhance the property, in our opinion, in the way in which we would like to see it, with ornamental trees suitable for the area. I'm going to learn which trees are preferred versus the ones that are not preferred. I came from a lake living, and birch trees and whatnot were very favorable, and I'm understanding that that may not be the case. But the whole side of that property was never cleaned, and leaves and ticks and sumac and poison ivy has all been determined to be in there. So we're in the process of trying to clean out all the leaves, all the yucky, viney, picky bushes that are in there. But what we're trying to do is thin it out, and I'm giving an example of my last home, whether or not this makes sense. But what we're trying to do is create an environment of, this is my last home, this is what we do for landscaping. We're very, very, very concerned about our looks on what we do, and we're trying to enhance our property in the way in which we think we would like to go. If you allow me to thin out some more of those trees and allow us to put in more suitable landscaping in our desire. Some of the branches are low-hanging, so those are a concern. Also, we're going to try to do some trimming of some low-hanging branches that are rotted, and I should have showed you, Drew, but some of those branches I have pictures of are very low-hanging over here, coming over the property where my children and grandchildren are playing, so we'd like to be able to remove some of those branches. My first thought was to remove the tree, but if the commission allows us to move the tree, great. If the commission doesn't allow us to move the tree, maybe we can come to some sort of compromise and we can trim some of the branches that are potentially going to break, fall, maybe. But we're trying to prevent any accidents down the road, and we're trying to prevent any missteps by asking the board for consideration of removal of some of the trees. The necessary trees, in my opinion, are the ones that are cracking my foundation, the one in the back that potentially could impede in the foundation area, not doing it now, and the seriously big pine tree that is leaning, that potentially could be a problem. Like happened 2 weeks ago, there was a huge pine tree that cracked and knocked out the power on Manitoba and the whole area. So a mature pine tree, if given on the right day, could fall, and we don't want any insurances, we don't want any liability, we don't want to take any risks. So that's our intention, and we're hoping you agree.
Okay, thank you very much. You're
welcome.
I will go to commissioners first for comments, questions, or clarifications that you would like to ask of the applicant. Who would like to go first?
I have a couple, I can go
Sarah,
first.
you've
I have
got
a
the
couple
floor.
questions. Good evening.
Hello.
Have you consulted with an arborist to assess the health of these trees or any options for pruning? Or I heard you say, in our opinion, a couple of times. Have you consulted with an arborist or a horticulturist to take a look at these trees?
We didn't understand the complexity of the right questions to ask, but Hamilton Tree and Landscaping would be employed to do the work. And they have come to the property and looked at the various trees that we're talking about. Had I known that you would need some sort of documentation saying, okay, this tree is in fact the one that caused the foundation to crack. This pine tree in the back is leaning, has the potential of breaking. So I didn't ask the arborist the right questions, but we do intend to have that done by a professional landscaping organization to do it correctly.
Sure, well, that's wonderful. I think taking down trees and taking a look at trees to assess whether they're healthy or hazard trees are two very different jobs. Healthy trees are by and large not going to be a liability risk to your home. And to one of the questions that you posed, the preferred trees for that property are the ones that are there. So, that property is mostly xeriscaped right now. And I went out there, and most of the trees that you're looking to take down that have been marked are all of the mature trees on that property. And being that this is in the flood zone, we do tend to take the vegetation in the flood zone pretty seriously because it's very important for storing and absorbing water. So I would just like to see some alternatives to see if there would be a way to prune the trees rather than remove them completely and leave the root structure intact. And then I heard you say in the back there was a patio area that you
I want to create
wanted
a patio.
to create, but if I recall, I was there, I hope I didn't disturb you, I was there very early this morning, but it looks like there's a sitting area and a patio just to the right of the house. So would that be shifted over to the back of the house? Or would you have two?
In addition.
Okay. And then you would be taking out all of this and vegetating the lot? Or are we just talking about taking the trees down?
100% vegetation.
Okay.
You can see the pictures. That's
They're
what
beautiful.
We do.
That grass
That's what we're gonna
is
create.
shamrock green, just for your awareness. We do have restrictions on vegetation that goes into land subject to coastal storm flowage, in particular for the fertilizer requirements. Water quality is a pretty big issue here. I know you're a very new resident, so let me welcome you
Thank
to
you.
Mashpee and let you know that we have some pretty serious water quality concerns here that we are tasked to protect. So if you are going to be putting vegetation in, there are some restrictions to how much lawn you can have and what species you can have.
I've already begun replacing the trees. If you saw that this
I
morning, you
did.
saw
I
some
saw
green
some little
giants.
ones. Yep. I saw some
And
little
those will
ones.
be relocated
Sure.
once the scope of work has been completed. And then hopefully that whole area will be created with green landscaping, beautiful, healthy, proper trees and shrubs that will continue to keep the vegetation intact.
Sure.
We're very naturistic. We understand it. We're just trying to improve it to, which you might disagree because the improvement is natural. So I understand that. But
Right.
being wooded, leaved, all that is, the ticks are unbelievable. And I know that may not help, but if down the road, if some of the different vegetation, or if it is rocked or something of that nature with appropriate trees. The sumac, from what I understand, is awful. My son owned the house and he got it, so we're not sure if this will help, but we're hoping it does.
Sure. I mean, I can tell you that a certified arborist or horticulturist could help you identify options for removing some of those invasive plants, and Barnstable County is a hotspot for ticks, period. I can guarantee you it's not because those trees are there. You're going to have the ticks anyway.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
have learned that.
Wonderful, yes, and again, welcome to Barnstable County,
Thank you.
where we have lots of robust ticks. But those are the only questions I have, and then for the commission, if we do issue a negative determination for this RDA, would we be able to set some stipulations in terms of who gets to oversee this process and what that redevelopment of that, or the revegetation looks like?
Yeah, there can be conditions on the RDA.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay. Someone else?
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on Sarah, if you had an arborist and one way or another, whether the 2 trees which are impacting the foundation and the other 3 that you want to take out, if you had an arborist that say, yeah, there's a health issue, there's a chance that they could come down in a storm, that would certainly bolster your case in here to say, I have a letter from a Mass Certified Arborist saying these trees are unhealthy and there's a chance they could come down. So I guess kind of what Sarah said to suggest that, maybe you should have someone come in and look at that, give you a report, and that might bolster your case a little bit to say, it could go the other way as well, but do you follow what I'm saying?
100%. I mean, the trees are healthy. They're there. I mean, they're blooming, they're great, they're beautiful, so they're healthy trees. So the person that's going to come in and say, hey, Tom, my name's Martin, but I go by Tom. The tree on the left side of the house is very, very healthy, beautiful tree. It's cracking my foundation. It's hitting my house. And would a healthy tree also possibly blow over in the wind? Would it possibly be struck by lightning? Would it possibly be... I'm not sure if the arborist telling the board, saying that's an unhealthy tree, I don't think